Lola and Chiffon are monster mashers. They love their monster men. Okay, so with that being said, we know that the zombies on Thriller Bark are all possessed with shadows, and those shadows possess the personalities of the original person, right? Therefore, the zombie acts like the original person. With that being said, it really gives you an insight to Lola's psyche, because Lola the zombie was chasing around Absalom all through Thriller Bark, wanting to marry him. Absalom is a freak because he has a lion's muzzle and a bunch of animal tissue grafted onto his body. So he's disgusting. He is a freakish, abhorrent abomination. But things get even funnier, because during the Oh My Family cover story, Lola finally finds love in Gotti of the Fire Tank Pirates. Gotti, like Absalom, is a freak, but instead of being a freak of grafted flesh, he is a cyborg, as he has a giant Gatling gun for an arm. So Lola has a type. She likes the monster men, whether they be monsters of flesh or monsters of machine. This is even funnier because Lola asks Frankie out as well during the events of Thriller Bark, so that's funny. So with that being said, I think you should take a page out of Lola's book and chase around that subscribe button and mash it too until it turns gray. Do the same with the like button, and also mash that hype button if you can find it. Anyway, her sister Chiffon is not much better, because she married and had a child with Capone Beige. Capone Beige is a disgusting individual, not in terms of character, but in terms of his existence, because after eating the castle fruit, he is a abhorrent, freakish golem with spatial powers that never seem to turn off. So in that way, he's no different from Buggy or Alvida, in which his powers are active all the time. So he's just a freak all the time, which is very, very funny. But on top of that, this makes a lot of sense, because these actions, this behavior, is both a learned behavior and possibly a genetic behavior, because the both of them grew up in Tatoland, a place filled with homie freaks. And of course, Big Mom, their mother, is a freak herself, because she has had relations with everything under the sun except for 3 races that she's never had the chance to actually be with. With that being said, I think the reason why Lola turned down Loki is because Loki is too conventionally handsome. Loki, despite having horns, being huge, and having weird demon eyes, is probably too normal for Lola's tastes, which is why he got his heart broken by her when the two were paired together, which is very funny, and I kind of hope that is actually the case, because based on her marrying Gotti, it's very clear that she has a type, and Loki is not that type. And becoming smaller, presumably, as we've talked about in other videos, didn't make it any better. It probably made things worse, because she's like, ew, now you're even more regular than before. No, thank you. That's so funny that if he has a canonical version of the mini fruit and could shrink down to match her height more traditionally, that turned her off even more, because that makes him more normal to her and therefore less attractive, which is hilarious. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What?